Uh, when I was on an EMS route and I did shifts 12 hours at a time, it's almost like the sirens sometimes give me PTSD. But then again, I had a really good time doing it, so I don't think that it's a bad PTSD, if that makes sense. Is there even such a thing as not bad PTSD? I don't know. That should do right. All right. Hey guys. Oh, I slept so hard last night. I'm like, I was tired, I guess. How's everybody doing today? It's hump day. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey, Turtle Madness. Good morning. So today's Wednesday. I am getting ready to go into work and I'm going to put a little bit of makeup on. Hey, Helena. I was thinking this morning of what to talk about because I never really just want to come up here and just random talk. It kind of feels all over the place when I do that. And so I always want to have like a underlying message that I have to say or want to say or feel like it's relevant. Usually it's really something that I need to hear. And so I try really hard to come up with some kind of underlying message. But it took me a while today. And then I realized it's the teams thing. We're all here because we all love true crime. And so we become invested emotionally. Whenever you give your time into something, it becomes something that you care about. And of course, a lot of these cases have kids, have very innocent victims that are brutalized at times. And so we become emotionally invested. And for me, I found myself actually thinking about this the other day because of Delphi and Richard Allen and how he had been treated while he was in custody. And I basically found myself after he was convicted just feeling so bad about him being convicted. And I'm thinking to myself, like, well, what about these two poor young ladies? Like, what if they're really just getting justice? And what if this man really did do this? And I'm sitting here like, he has the right to his freedom. And I'm thinking to myself, like, how stupid do I sound if Richard Allen really did unalive these poor two young girls that are my daughter's age? Like, I don't know. And so then I find myself thinking about, Leilani. We're getting ready to go to Georgia today, which I slept wrong. I don't know what it's just gonna be a long week for me. Good morning, Vanessa. Hey, Chatty Jen, Pittsburgh nurse number 13. Good morning. My feelings on Delphi, we have to trust the jury. I agree, because they had to have seen something that made them believe that he was 100%, without a reasonable doubt, guilty, right? And then I also watch a Deception Detective. He basically said that he was guilty also, and I trust his judgment. He is almost always right, but I don't really understand why. Yet at the same time, saying all that, at the same time, I do feel like the entire system is flawed, though, because when you're in the United States, you should have the right to a fair trial, all of the above. And so at the same time, like, I see why I feel the way I feel, if that makes sense. And I see why a lot of people feel the way they feel, especially about Richard Allen, because that's not the typical procedure on how you get arrested and then held in confinement or put in solitary because of your own safety. But basically, What if he did it? What if he brutally unalived these 2 girls, and he's where he needs to be, and he's serving the time that he deserves to serve? And, you know, I mean, plus plus his confession started with Mama before he lost his mind. That's another thing. I don't know when he started to confess, and I don't know if he was being mistreated, which that's what the Franks motion came out and said. He basically alleged through his attorneys that he was being threatened by the guards to, you know, to be offed. Actually, he was more affected when they threatened him with his wife. They said his family, according to the Franks motion. Now, I know the lawyers are good, and they're supposed to say stuff to free you. Thank you, Elena. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. It's so hard to be in where I'm at. Diddy's case is getting interesting. I saw there was something new about Diddy, but I didn't get a chance to look into it. I should probably do that because it's fascinating to me. But again, there's no sides. And I feel like with Diddy, I bet you there's people there that also support Diddy, even though he's disgusting. I got a new eyeliner, and this is the fun part of my day. Thank you. Yeah, my hair is very long. I've been meaning to get it cut and just never have, and so now here we are. This is Tarte. The brand is Tarte. The eyeliner's called Sex Kitten. I didn't make it up. And it is in the color black. But we gotta put on my stuff before this. Oh yeah, you need to look into the cell raid where they confiscated some of the things. I heard about that also. And I didn't realize it was his. I heard the FBI did a raid on his federal prison he was in, which I thought he was in jail. So, I don't know. Thank you, Turtle Madness. Thank you so much. You guys are so amazing. I appreciate you so much. You don't even know. It's so stressful sometimes with work and parenting and dating, and, you know, it's not very easy working with a whole nother individual sometimes when they're set a set way, and then you have certain things that you demand and require. And oh my God, yesterday we were talking about getting ready because he didn't even realize we were leaving for Georgia today. And so I'm like, you know, we're leaving tomorrow, right? And he's just like, it's tomorrow? I'm like, oh my God. So I'm like, we got to do this, that, clear off the back of the truck. And so he's out and about living his best life, driving the freaking toy around. He's trying to it depends on if he can swing it, the car toy thing he's borrowing from his friend. But it's like, I'm sitting there in chat watching him while I'm trying to work, which that's a whole nother issue. Work is crazy right now too. And so I'm trying to get his attention because I'm like, did you clean the truck off? Did you clean? Because I'm, in my mind, all I can focus on is we're getting ready to leave tomorrow and we need to do this, that, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what are you doing? But that's who he is. That's what he does. And definitely don't listen. It's almost like he likes getting yelled at. And then he's telling everybody in the world that, like, oh, he's in trouble again. And I'm thinking, like, do you like being in trouble? But it's very hard to work with teams. So, the person you choose to be with should be your teammate. That's where you need teams. And, you work together that way. But when it comes to these cases that we follow, it's just, it's hard. Because it's like we become, he's a happy go long. Yeah, he's good. He's great. It wasn't a big deal. I ended up not really even needing the truck, so I've just made all that fuss for nothing. And then I look stupid because he's making me look like I'm some big bad, just, I don't know, but it's all right. I signed up for this. This is what I wanted. This is what I enjoyed. This is what I still enjoy. So, I mean, and it's hard because I like the, what did you just post? Is it a dolphin road Rogue Dolphin Bish. I'm so lost. Irish, I don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, I'm still kind of out of it. I had to take a NyQuil last night to go to sleep because I started feeling like I was getting congested and like I just needed sleep. And it's a shark woman. Rogue Shark Bish. What does the shark got to do with anything? I'm still lost. Anyways, like every time that I take any kind of like medication like that, I feel like I have like a weekly high. I don't even know why. But like I said, I'm all over the place. And I cannot find my foundation that is old. Because this is my new one. I got a new one. Because when he bought stuff the other day, I bought makeup. And it's funny because Miss Penny was saying how now I'm starting to sound like Tiffany. Because Tiffany always comes in the chat saying she needs something. And that he needs to pay for or whatever. And I did the same thing. I was like, oh, you're buying stuff? Yeah, I'm going to buy stuff too now. But basically I did. And I really didn't need to ask his permission. But it is what it is, you know? He laughs at because he knows he's got to get things done. And he knows that you worry about the stuff. So we always say, oh, I'm going to get yelled at. Yeah. Oh, I know. It makes me sound like I'm just like this uptight asshole. And how did you meet Jimmy? On the internet. I met him because I was addicted to true crime and I had been watching all of the cases and I hadn't really talked in his chat because it was really kind of just frowned upon to talk in certain chats because you typically don't go real life when it comes to true crime. And to me, real life is sometimes talking in chats. And so I would not speak in his chat because there were people in there that were known to be problematic in going real life. And then, so I watched over time. And then the more he talked, the more I realized that he was literally next door to me. And, well, I heard him talking about going to take classes for private investigating and that he couldn't find anything that wasn't around here. He said he was looking into stuff in Richmond. And I'm like, well, I'm getting ready to go do this class. And he seems like he's really entertaining. And so I'm just going to call in. So I call in. I'm like, at that point in time, I didn't have a Facebook. Because all his mods were like, yeah, contact him on Facebook and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't have a Facebook. And so I was just like, all right, I'm going to call in. So basically I call into a show and I'm like, I'm getting ready to take private investigating classes in Chesapeake, which I believe you're in. And he's like, yeah, I'm in Chesapeake. I'm like, well, there's classes that start in November. It was November. And I'm going to need you to get it together and sign up for these classes so that when I get off work, I have to go to class and I would have been at work all day and I need an entertainer. I need a jester. So you need to get it together. You need to go to these classes and so that I can have somebody there with me to laugh at so I don't fall asleep because it's going to be boring. And he's like, haha, okay, blah, 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 message me, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Well, this all went down. The classes were in November. I'm trying to think of how far in advance I signed up. It was a couple months. So I think that was like August or September. There's 99 people in here and 35 likes. Thanks. Half of you, a quarter of you. Thank you, Cheech. Good morning, Rhonda. I have tried Richard and Caitlin Sharp that live near you. I have a friend, Richard and Caitlin Sharp, that live near you in Chesapeake also. Wonder if you know them. Shop Concrete. No. I'm actually in Virginia Beach. I live in Virginia Beach. And then I moved with him in Chesapeake. But it's a big area. So I don't know really. I don't know everybody. I don't know what the population is either. But it's a pretty big area. And so anyways. So this is like August, September. And it's right when he's got all that stuff going on with the Leilani Simon trial. And so I start kind of talking to him, not very often. Do you drive a Jeep? Yes, Jeep babe, I do. How'd you know? So he's very busy. I believe he was still dating Missa till like September. And so like I didn't really talk to him in that way. Are you available, Jeep babe? What do you mean? Am I available? And so I just basically just kept annoying him about this class because I really wanted someone to go with, because I was kind of nervous about taking the class. I didn't really know what it was about. And he seems very personable. He was very easy to talk to. I didn't talk to him very often though, but just here and there. And then I of course kept following his channel because I was really into the cases we were all following. And so I basically told him, all right, classes are starting, I guess you're not coming, whatever. That was like in November when classes started. And so while I'm in class, he's not there, and I just was giving him a hard time. But while I was in class, we were learning stuff like how to look things up and how to find people you're looking for and how to find their background. And at that point in time, I kind of started to like, not necessarily romantically talk or whatever, but we were talking more often. And he had already been in Georgia again several times over. He got arrested, which I was on the phone with him when he drove back to Georgia, and I literally said, you're driving back there to get arrested. Like, this is not, I wouldn't do this. And he just was like, oh, I'm going, blah, blah, blah. Okay, have fun, but have fun getting arrested. And then when he got arrested, I was literally like on the back end of my phone like, oh my God, I'm the one that's psychic. Honestly, I'm like, I have some kind of weird sixth sense. It's not even really a gift. It's just a weird sixth sense that I have that I don't like sometimes, but hey. But yeah, that's what happened basically. And so now I'm trying to get ready while I talk, while I wake up still. I feel like I'm still half asleep, but we're going to be in Georgia by tomorrow for Leilani's sentencing. And it's really hard sometimes because he gets to be, you know, on the internet and do things he wants to do. And so he gets to go out and have fun. And I want to go too. So like all the cases that he gets to actually physically travel to, I'm like, I want to go too, but I don't have, my paid time off is like 10 days. We used that when he had a heart attack, basically. I'm glad you met. I think you two are good. Thank you. Yeah, we have a lot of fun. And, I mean, are you Jeep babe? If you're not, you should join us. It's amazing. Oh, that's like a group. No, I don't know anything about it. I got a Jeep because I thought I was going to be driving on the beach a lot, and I never got to really do it. So I'm not even sure I want to keep the Jeep at this point. I have that, and I've had some visions. 1, 2, summer, and a couple of Sebastian. Yeah, I fully believe in that. But for me, I get just certain levels of like something that I know, and then I'm like, I just know. And people are like, well, I don't get that. So, and I'm like, I don't know how to explain it to you. I just know. I've had certain, there was an incident with an ex-boyfriend where he was abusive and he ended up being wanted. And so he ended up going back to Canada where he originally was from, but he had been here in Virginia for a long time. But, he was somebody that I guess I considered like my first love. I don't know if abuse is love, but at some point I guess I believed it was. And my ponytails are in this other bag. I'm all over the place. I'm sorry. I'm still trying to wake up because I took that damn NyQuil. But basically this ex ended up going back to Canada because he was wanted here in the States. And all of a sudden, he had been gone for like 7 years, but he was abusive. And he actually like tried to stalk me when he left to go to Canada. Like, he would call my house every day. And I ended up moving out, ended up dating somebody else, and he would still call my parents' house to try and see where I was. So that's level abusive, but I had been over it for a minute. It had been like 7 years since I had seen this man, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I was at work and I was talking to one of my friends, Josh. He was somebody that we had all been friends with at the same time while I was dating this other guy. And all of a sudden, I was just talking to him, and then I was like, you know what? I think Rob's dead. And he was like, what? And I was like, I think we need to call his parents. I just have this feeling like that he's dead. And he was like, what are you talking about? You need to go sit down, have a sip of your water, do something and like not think about or talk about something like this. And I was like, I'm telling you, I haven't talked to the guy in years. For some reason, I feel like he's dead. And so this was, I want to say 2007. I don't know why, but it was like early 2000s to where the internet worked, but it wasn't like today. It wasn't like, hey, AI, show me where my ex-boyfriend's grave is, you know? It was just, you had to kind of Google some more and search better. And, yeah, I have my coffee. It takes a little bit longer when I had to take some medicine. But NyQuil is like booze. Yeah, I know. I slept really good. I feel a little rested. I just still kind of feel like I'm still out of it. But, so basically, I found his obituary after like 3 weeks of searching for it on the internet every day. Because at first I started doubting my whole, like, what if you didn't really see that he was gone? And so I found his obituary, basically. And then I went to his parents' house and told them I'm sorry for their loss. And they were like, how did you know? And I was like, I just knew. I don't know. But I don't know how we got on that topic. And this is what I do. I just rant, rave, basically come out and voila, I'm done. And I'm like, what did I even say? What did I even tell these people today? Like, don't make teams when it comes to freaking cases like we follow. Hey, James Dale, good to see you this morning. You got coffee? I did, see. And I'm gonna have to go soon. But basically what I was saying is I can't get to go to every case, but I'm getting to go to Georgia, and I haven't been to Georgia before. I seem to catch you before your end. I hope you feel better. Good morning. Thank you. I feel great. I'm just a little bit out of it, just tired still. But I get to go, and we used all my PTO when I went to, we went on vacation, and then when he had his heart attack. So I'm like, it's hard to take time off and go on these cases to go with him. And I'm just really blessed that I get to go because I already used my PTO. But, you know, being online every morning and getting a little bit of revenue from YouTube is really helpful too. And that is just like, I guess since I've been doing it every morning, it's actually kept up in the algorithm. Is that the word? Yeah. And so I basically, it's like 2 something that I've been getting every month in from YouTube. So that's really helpful too. Anybody that says like, oh my God, they're only doing this for the money. I'm like, that's the whole point of YouTube. I'm like, that's why everybody's here. Like, let's get real. I'm not one of those people that sugarcoats or like, I don't even know what the word is, but it's like everybody's on YouTube to make a little bit of extra money. So saying like, oh my God, he does this just for the money. It's like, yes, but we get to help other people while we do it. You know what I mean? So it's like, hello. I don't know. When are you leaving? I'm not sure. I still have to go into work, and something happened with my work, and it got bought out by a different company. So like my work is kind of in limbo right now too. They're going to officially transfer names over or whatever in December. I think it was like the 16th. And so like we have these new boss people in here just following us around and watching everything we do, and it's kind of like nerve-wracking, but you know, everything all at the same time, right? True crime, cars, and guitars. Hey, the double standards are ridiculous in this sector. I agree. I try really hard not to point out certain things because I feel like I've done them before or I continuously do them. And so for me, it's hard to call out somebody that asks for, you know, fundraisers, or that says, you know, hey, here's my Christmas wish list. Because I've done that. I've done that almost every year since I've been here. So I'm not going to be here just ragging on other people that are doing that. But at the same time, it's like, there's certain things that get brought to my attention to where I feel the need to speak, like don't mess with animals and don't harm your kids and don't, you know, like just stuff that I stand for. But for the most part, when I come online or when I have something to say, it's to be positive and to bring some type of positive influence, whether it's for myself and for others. So like if I'm talking like as if I'm a goody two shoes or better than all, or just like I'm a teacher to everybody, I'm mainly talking to myself because I don't really expect that many people to watch me or to pay attention to me. It's like I want to get a message out there to myself, something that I need to work on, and then maybe somebody else could also learn from that, if that makes sense. Bug Cherry, 727. Yeah, I know. I gotta go. You guys have a good rest of your day. I only put foundation on. Like, I don't know why I bother. It's all right. We got this. Have a good rest of your day, everybody. Thanks so much for being here. Bicycle.